Welcome back. We are straight into the action here between OpTic and BIG. Obviously, for those unaware, we had MSL with a bit of an issue. His kitchen set on fire. Classic mistake. Happens to us all. But let's talk about it a bit later because we're into the action. We're into the last round of the half. BIG have had a very rough time here on Dust 2, but they are up on the catwalk in the 3-on-4.
Yeah. So far, none of them are on fire, so work from there. Big moving out though with the man disadvantage up on Cat. They've not had a lot of success. Nico being a big reason for that as well. MSL's gonna go down. Nico barely, well, I was about to say barely tucks around the corner. That actually doesn't come true. And Testa's been taken out on long as well, so it's pretty swift change of scenery there for Big. 4v3 turned into a 1v3. Cajun with a lot to do here.
That box smoke that we've been seeing is great for two reasons. It not only gives, you know, the fight on the site an advantage to the terrorists coming up Cat, but if you're in CT, you cannot win that fight. You cannot spot anyone. Yeah. As we see OpTic get picked apart. Cajun looking for the retake. Molly is not going to connect to anyone. Legio is still close on the site. And Cajun almost closing it out. It's Tizian to finish it off. And 3 rounds to BIG on the half. Hey, there's some improvement. They get the last 3.
Yeah, there you go. Not affected by the long pause. Feeling pretty good about that, but I guess, if anything, they've been able to mentally prepare for quite some time for what they have to, for the task coming up, right? They've had felt like, was it an hour?
Yeah, probably.
Something to that effect.
Yeah, at least 45, right?
Yeah, and
what's that smell?
I have to mull it over. Something burning?
Is it MSL's kitchen?
Might just be.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
No, it's fair.
Poor guy, man.
I think we have to redo the saying, like, can you smell what the rock is cooking? It's like, can you smell what part of MSL's kitchen's on fire? I don't know.
All of it. Oh, OpTic are charging up long here with 3. The bomb is in B, though. Oh, I guess they're hoping the BIG over-rotate, and they've hoped very well. BIG have all pulled all the players over towards the A site, and now OpTic are about to run into B. Now, they still have a disadvantage. Don't get me wrong. It's a 3-on-5.
And it might get worse.
And it might get much worse, because Smooth is waiting. Now, surely OpTic don't close out this 2v5 post-plant on B.
They need to get aggressive. They need to find early picks before BIG actually gather up and work off of that, because they're not going to be able to hold off a 2v5 retake, as good as the B side is to play an after-plant position in.
Yeah, no one's coming from tunnels. Occasion, he's got to come and help his teammate. Tessis is kind of being hung out to dry right now. Flash, not going in a smoke bomber towards the tunnels. Occasion pushing on through. Tessis fighting for his life. He gets 1, but that's not enough, and they're just going to spam the smoke till Cajun drops. It's BIG with the pistol, and the game is on now, Halvor. Anyone can win this. You never know.
The comeback confirmed.
I think after this long of a break, really, you cannot count it out.
It is kind of like a new game has just started.
Yeah.
Sure, we just plotted in some numbers, and 12-3 might not even matter as much at this stage. This could be 0-0. First pistol round goes the way of BIG. That's how they probably approached it as well. I think that's how you have to approach it, really. They just got battered for the better time of it in that first half. And, okay, interesting investment on the side of OpTic.
Don't blame them. They are 12-4 up, going for the force in round number 2. No armor on 2, obviously, because they dropped guns, but that's a start. Nico dropping Smooth at the corner. That's a M4 picked up, at least, for Tizian, but he's got a lot more to do.
Yeah, he only took 15 HP, or 15 health of damage as well. Pretty good. They've posted up tests. He's going to be fine, tucked away in the corner there. Not going to be affected by the Molotov. And if Tizian tries to cross over before that, that's going to be hurt at the very least. Spotted as well.
Yeah. Smoke going down, and Tizian's had enough of long. Just wanted to keep OpTic static for a moment. That smoke will do exactly that. BIG fall back to the site. It's Xantares and Tizian there. Got Legia and Tabson over towards B in the meantime. OpTic still up on the catwalk. They can go anywhere with this setup. They have the advantage. They might want to, continue to feel out this map. But that's a great flashbang. Xantares, even better spray, almost gets a 3rd. But MSL, fast as anything, as he takes down Xantares with a deagle, picking up a gun, but walking back into Tizian. Cajun needs a trade, and he's traded out his gun at least. Double peek is great. Tessis finds a kill, and now OpTic, 30 seconds. They've got the A site for free. Tabson coming up from the spawn, but Molotov back on short. Tabson's going to be in a great position. Tessis has been dropped. Jump shot. Attempted, but not connecting. You don't want to go for it again. Cajun's ready.
It's buying time for Leggy, though. He just ran through the Molotov as well.
Ballsy. So, 5th round locked in for BIG. Defuse coming through, and OpTic Always tempting to just rebuy here, but probably be safer just to take a half buy, get some pistols and armor, wait for that loss bonus to accumulate, and give Big 6 rounds.
So, full believer in the comeback right now?
No.
No? No?
No, I'm kidding.
You seemed so
not a
so
full
certain.
believer. At 12-2, before MSL crashed, I thought this game was over. I no longer think this game is over.
I think everyone thought that was over.
I no longer think this game is over. I think Big could. I'm not going to predict it because they're still down by 7 rounds, but I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt.
Ooh, that's a meaty nade. Cajun taking a lot of damage, but look at that. It's going to be OpTic to find the first frag. tabseN not getting away in time. Cat will control gained. Smooya. Casually tapping, not actually going to go for more either. He wants to make sure he's not getting backstabbed before he goes in again.
Been pushed from lower as well, and he is ready for that. Any more?
He'll take on all comers.
There we go.
Well, only Cajun left, and he got tied up pretty heavily at the start of it, so Smooth's going to finish it off. 4 kills for the Brit. And yeah, might be looking at a bit of a game here.
Certainly could be. I mean, this is Big's map pick for those unaware, as it says in the top right. So they're definitely going to have a game plan coming into this one, and although it was rough earlier, the break has given them some time to talk it over, to warm up, more importantly, I imagine.
Get head out to the deathmatch server.
Yeah, would be a great help. I mean, you know, not as warm as MSL's kitchen, but...
It's going to be a recurring theme.
Yep.
Just in a very sadistic way, I'm hoping that MSL somehow dies to Molotov at some point.
In-game.
Yeah, obviously. And again, yeah, we should preface that. Obviously, like, we're making jokes and everything, but, you know, luckily everything's fine.
Yeah, obviously. We're only joking because no one died.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's an odd occurrence to have happening to delay a qualifier game like this, obviously, for even the most experienced player. Tishin's really playing with fire here. Working it back and forth. It's actually going to get out, getting the better of Nico for the time being. And the follow from tabseN, it's not something Nico was expecting. He was so set on Tishin just jumping back and forth. He didn't really expect to see a full-on committal. Right now, it's OpTic starting to get picked apart, 1 by 1.
These flashes.
Doing work.
Savage stuff. Cajun's crept into B, but Legia...
Legia's just going to crouch down. He's not going to repeat.
Kill. Molotov, hello, Legia. Where are you? Out in the open, Cajun's taken him. And now Xantara is moving back into the site. Spray is good, but he's got to get that reload in. And Smooya has his back covered. So 7 rounds to Big. Are you a believer? You want to get on the train earlier?
I've seen their face, but I'm not a believer.
Nice. This is, yeah, third map on the horizon, I think.
Yeah, you've been converted.
Dinko's probably very sad right now.
Well, GG.Bet doesn't seem to believe quite yet as strongly as you do. But Bigger at least making this whole prettier sight to look at than what it was in the first half. Finally, we're seeing some connection. We're seeing them being able to play off each other. But again, Tishin back at the front of the doors, jumping back and forth. There is flashes here. MSL is too pushed up, so...
They haven't found him. He's in the corner. tabseN's just laying down the pain.
Oh, what a savior.
Oh, dear. And to be honest, I will say, at 12-2, before the pause, it kind of felt like Big were giving up to some degree. Like, we were just seeing them do silly things like just boosting in 2v2s, and tabseN was like jumping over the window and dying in a post plant and just giving up a lot of silly rounds, I guess you could say. And I don't blame them for acting that way at 12-1, but now that they've had the pause and they've got a couple of rounds on the board, well, these guys, I bet they're feeling pumped. I bet they're feeling like they're in this one to win it now. And attitude, mentality, that's going to make all the difference, really. So,
oh, how patient is he going to be? Oh, he's got to die for this. Oh, okay, there's some...
Just calling for a smoke.
Yeah, it's like, somebody please drop it.
The worst part is he almost got the shot as well, but Smooya will take it instead. The molly is there, but he is out through it, doesn't care.
It's a nice idea from OpTic, though. It is pretty much set up to deal with anyone playing aggressively on Catwalk. But Smooya, he did this versus Hellraisers as well on Dust 2, being pretty active with the op, getting around into offensive positions to find picks. Did so really well, too. While nothing really went the way of Big in their first half. Can turn it around here on the CT side. Yet again, it's OpTic playing at a man disadvantage. they have utility for days, so that's at least something to work with.
Molly's up Cats. We are trying to keep them back for as long as possible, but that smoke will create complications. He's going to fall off. Titian off of the line.
That's a good flash.
Yeah, very well done, but the trade is there. The kill is there.
They spotted Centaurus, I think. No, they didn't?
Yeah, they did. Molly's in. Oh, maybe they weren't fully committed. Yeah, maybe they didn't see him.
A little bit surprised about why Cajun backed off while Nico went forward. Obviously, that should have been a double peek, if anything. But
maybe expecting a flash and Cajun wanted to play anti?
Maybe. That could have been the case. Nonetheless, they do get the 1-for-1 trade, so long control has been gained.
20 seconds.
They need to get a move on. Yeah, you're right. They only have one smoke, too. Himself just whizzing bullets past Smooya.
Oh, that's the round. Bombs dropped, and the player who's already crossed cannot go back to get it. How many kills can MSL get, though? Obviously, no time for this, and Tabson's got the flank on, so Big. They're going to shut down that round. Was that after time? No, don't think so.
No, it wasn't.
Just about. But this is what? 6 rounds in a row?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
SpaghettiOs.
Ooh.
It might be onto something, yeah. Another pause comes in. This seems to be a tech, though. Hopefully nothing more started to combust over at MSL's apartment.
I heard Cajun's living room is flooded.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We're going through all the different things. We can't wait for like a hurricane or something to just pass through someone's living room. Not that that's exactly a common occurrence in Denmark, of all places.
Hurricane season out in Copenhagen.
Yeah. Can get windy there, though. It's a very flat country. And OpTic are going to, opt into this round. Yeah. Full buy Galil on Nico. We do have a substantial amount of utility as well. And we saw that with Big, even though they didn't find too much success on their T side. And this one, even in the previous matchups they've had on the map, you don't necessarily need all the bits and bobs to have successful pushes, as long as you have the tempo with you. Smoke on the corner goes down, lots of flashes. And even some damage on the Centaurs, and MSL's going to make it down into pit.
Oh, close.
That's well done from Tijian.
Yeah, it's a very important kill there. And Smooya's still up on the card. They haven't even seen him yet. Well, now they know. It's all too late. Smooya, he got a 2-for-1 there. He even legged Nico through the kill onto Tess's. Not even watching pit. Maybe he doesn't realize, or maybe he's expecting another man to come out through long. Now he knows, and he's locked it down. Nico's gone, and Cajun a long way from home.
Very long way, and even though he picks up the frag onto Tabs, and he needs to get back into pit, and that's obviously something Big are going to have their eyes on. They know the bomb is dropped there, yeah. Smooya definitely spotted that out once he got the kill onto Nico. So Cajun, I mean, you can look to do as much damage as possible, but it's not really going to create the biggest of dents into Big's funds right now. Leggy really the only one strapped for cash. Some jumps back and forth. Cajun's definitely going to hear that, but he might not be expecting Centaurs in the close position, considering the fact that Smooya is just running back and forth.
That's really nice. Absolutely had no idea. 10 rounds to Big. They've reached double digits. God, I remember when this was 11-0.
Yeah.
Momentum, am I right?
Very much so. It's definitely not working out for OpTic so far. And it spiraled quickly, too, because in many ways, just as dominant as OpTic were on their TD side, and Big weren't really close to getting a whole lot of rounds until the very last 3. Same can be said for OpTic. They haven't gotten into that many situations where it's been a close bout.
Ooh, Smooya, does he realize they're all above him in Catwalk? Oh dear, that's, yeah, very, very close. He was just centimeters away from seeing those players push down mid. And now he's given an AWP over to players with armor as well. MSL doesn't have it, so we're going to see Nico don this weapon for now.
We'll see if it drops it back.
I'd like it on the armored player regardless.
Tijian does that move forward? He's actually going to get dicked up immediately.
Yeah, that smoke's not going to cover doors.
It's not going to cover anything at all.
They've got him pinned.
Oh, that's a good flash as well. Amble actually does more damage to MSL than intended, but still getting the trades.
Oh no.
So far, the AWP has not been put into use.
No need.
I'm actually a little bit surprised that they haven't thrown it over to someone like Cajun, but I guess he doesn't have armor either. That might be the deciding factor, but
find his 2v3.
Yeah, he's earned it. But 2v3, oh, he's going to hear this, or he's going to spot this, and this should be an easy kill. And the most unlikely of rounds for OpTic somehow swing in their favor. There you go. OpTic back to winning ways in a strange fashion, to put it mildly. Smooya's, I guess, gamble into mid is perfectly fine. It's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just down to the fact that they're not able to connect their bullets. Tizian in a situation like that, going up against MSL without any sort of armor, should be able to win out that duel and get a kill. We have just done the tide.
We have a double up now for Big. They've gone huge on the investment. Oh dear,
oh, he got stuck.
Yeah, he got stuck on the corner. Without that, he surely would have made it to the back of tunnels instead. Well, Big start the round off with a man advantage, and B looking fairly secure now. Long control early for Big, but they'll give it up. Just Tizian left alone once they've taken that position.
MSL looking to smoke off mid.
That's pretty dope, to be honest. Or jump throw. That's going to be a top box smoke as well. Yeah. Santaro's coming through it. They have a lower smoke. Now they do, but he's already run right by. They're blind, he's blind, everyone's blind, but Santaro's is going to get a double from it. Config with a trade, and 2 players still inside of B. They're pressuring the middle, but MSL's being covered by Legia in the window. Config swapping positions, almost goes for the knife. I think he ran out of ammo there?
Yeah, he ran out of bullets.
So, not a cocky move.
No, just a desperate act.
Yeah, just last chance saloon, really.
Had to do something, right?
Config does love an ambitious knife, but mid-spray, now that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
13-11, and Big, they lose 1 round, they instantly bite back, and the double up finds success.
Well, luckily for OpTic, with how little they invested in the round they did bring back, they're going to have another buy in their hands as well. This time MSL has the op, and he also has armor. Nico on that SG. MSL is not going to get stuck on a corner, so no easy pick-off for Tabson. Oh, they get dangerously close. Now you surely have to expect an aggressive angle from the Opper. And that's why they're throwing in the flash as well.
Ooh, he doesn't know, though. Maybe he does.
He has an idea.
Yeah, he's got him locked in now. Smoke coming through. He can play timing. He spots him, but now he thinks he's out of position. He comes out a bit later. Takes the shot first.
It's a little bit of a dangerous jump there from Tabson. Gives him an opportunity. Could have just waited for the smoke to fade. But all is good still.
It's the battle of the AWPs right now.
Yeah, just repositioning and seeing if they can find new angles. This time, though, it's not the same kind of setup from Big. We saw a lot of presence over towards A, especially towards Long at the start of this, and now 3 players playing inside the B bomb site. OpTic on there, and never going to really have a better chance of picking up around here than what they do right now. Smoothie needs to be dealt with. It's not enough flashes, really. Oh, no. That's a big miss.
Config turns, and that's what sets off his hitbox and makes it hard for Smoothie to hit him, so he only gets 1 kill. He does eventually take down Config, but traded immediately. Tizian jumping and getting spotted, and Nico, he'll love that fight. Krieg is so good, and Nico, powerful with it. 4-on-3 now. Big still have an AWP in this retake, and with the money being drawn into question, with this game being so close, you definitely wonder if Big are considering the save.
You might have to.
They're going to, I think, give it a look and maybe go for 1 fight. If they win it, they go.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
If you find an OpTic player straying off, then you might give fancier chances, but it's not happening.
Damn.
Danish squad being patient as ever.
Man, Smooth's just getting unlucky in this in this game right now. Like that bad timing on middle where he almost peeks wide enough but not quite. And then Config turning around halfway through, like dodging a flash while he's dropping. That would have been a kill, would have hit his arms.
Yes.
But no, just scrapes his back. He's got a tear in his t-shirt.
That was so important for OpTic as well because they ran out of flashes at that stage, so they wouldn't have anything else to really force Smoothie out of position or put him in a rough spot to land shots.
Oh, look at Nico laying down the pain.
He really is. He was solid over on Vertigo as well. Again, back on Vertigo, it wasn't that much of a discrepancy between the players. Everyone on OpTic seemed to chime in, but Nico had a stellar CT side with that AUG, being playing the rotation path between mid and the A bomb site. He hasn't really let go either. A little bit late on the timing.
Well, actually, yeah, the flash popped after he crossed, so can't really blame him for getting that spray wrong. Smoothie, nice pick. Finally getting a chance to open things up without getting traded. Tabson, similar story as well. Config, it didn't matter when he was 5-5 and OpTic were 11-0.
Yeah.
But now that he's 7-16, now he's certainly getting drawn into question. We need him to step up more than ever. Great flashbang, and Nico, nothing you can do about that one.
Tishan been so good, actually, over all of the Dust 2 games we've seen out of Big to find the timings where there's an opening for him to push aggressively in cave. Whether he actually follows through on it and goes for a bigger flank or just sees himself happy with one kill.
Yeah.
He's always had the right decision-making. And OpTic, it's a rough one. You've got 50 seconds left to kill, but you might actually have to consider saving. Cajun does have money if you want to buy up behind this, so...
Yeah. Seems to be the call.
This is definitely not how OpTic saw this playing out. And I guess it does put a bit of a damper, I guess, on the hopes we had for them, because it was very much looking like a quick 2-0 for OpTic. And obviously that would have created a lot of excitement around the grand finals for it. Force versus OpTic, again, they played each other in the Chicago qualifier. That was as close as you can get it. And with their improved form, you would have imagined that could continue and actually spur them on to a spot at New York, but been a bit of a collapse here on the T side. Time runs out. Nobody from
this
Big.
is sick.
Yeah, they're not going to be deep enough to actually find any of the OpTic players. Well.
What have we got here?
Only 2 rounds behind. 4 away from bringing it all the way back. Do you think we're going to hear that? Oh man, but what if MSL's kitchen hadn't set fire at 11-1?
Like, jokes aside, let's lay the truth down on the table. OpTic would have won this game completely.
It felt like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, they were so dominant, and even the round where he does timeout and everything just goes to to mayhem pretty much. That's a round where he's posted up on catwalk. There's not a whole lot of utility on the side of Big. They don't have the flashes to necessarily get him out of position. If he doesn't get a kill, he's at least going to buy time for his teammates to rotate in instead of just being a free kill.
It came down to a 1v1, even with him disconnecting during a round. Like, it was still close, and
it's
hopefully
that's not in the back of the head of OpTic right now. They need to focus on the task at hand.
Yeah, definitely. And 2 rounds is all they needed. It's still attainable, right? Like, they can still do this, but Big, in terms of this CT side, has been very, very strong indeed. Good flash, and how does that miss? Tapson.
Just a little bit too quick on the timing.
Yeah. Luckily, Xantares has moved into position. That smoke actually gives him a bit of a gap to fight and flash back in. I mean, Big are so confident right now, but maybe they shouldn't be. Tess's trading him back as MSL ducks out of position. OpTic into a 4-on-4. They've salvaged this round, at least to a degree.
Temporarily. The problem is, where do they go from here? Again, heavy long focus from Big. It's been working out for them pretty nicely. Let's see what OpTic wants to do. Bomb's actually rotating in towards cave instead of moving up towards short. They're actually stacking a majority of their forces here. Let's see, 1 minute left, so it's not going to be a time issue just yet. There's plenty of utility on the side of Big in terms of flashes at the very least to fend them off corners. Oh, and we've seen Tishan in this position as well. At the back side of Plateau. Last time we played that, he went off the angle just at the wrong time. Now he's going to stick. It's going to net him at least 1 kill. That's the heavy hitter, Nico. Down and out.
Oh, Cajun. Just getting past the angle before Smoothie is on it. Now, does he expect the player already to be here? Might not matter because he's holding the stair walk up. Cajun.
Smoothie needs to be careful now. He has to be aware that people are long, right?
Yeah, but surely he hits this. He's got support from CT.
He's watching. Oh, there we go.
Oh, just about. And now he turns back, but MSL's already up. You're right. It wasn't being covered on a wide enough angle. MSL does get that kill. Now he throws the bomb over, trying to cover his cross. He spotted both players, but he doesn't get a single one. 7 seconds, bomb has to be planted, and Tessis will get it down. But Ligia is in hot pursuit. Tessis able to stabilize for a second, gets back in for the fight, but he doesn't know where Tapson is. That should have been called. MSL spotted a player in middle earlier on, but he could have wrapped Cat, and that's the seed of doubt. The question mark, and Tapson climbing on top of the car with the drive-by shooting. Big have done it 13 rounds. And that's the money gone for OpTic.
Yeah, at the very least they got a bomb plant, but right now you're pretty damn stressed if you're OpTic.
Yeah. Or Dinko.
Or Dinko, yeah.
He got an Uber back to the studio like, oh yeah, it's 11:00. I'll be on broadcast soon. Sat
he was
around
like,
for an hour.
I wonder if I'll make it in time.
Yeah. Sat around for an hour.
Yeah.
And might even have to sit around for a 3rd map.
Who knows?
Can't win them all.
He's excited nonetheless to see Big coming back here.
He's a big fan.
Hey. All right, so Teslas have bought up full utility. And that's it.
Yeah, where's this going? I mean, I don't think OpTic even knows.
Is it Cajun?
I think it's pistols.
Dropping an AK? Vitesse doesn't have armor. And
yeah,
he can't,
if he buys
can't
armor, he
afford
screws
to,
himself. Yeah. I'm really not sure what this is. I guess someone throws him a deagle and he goes deagle utility. Like he'll be fine if he doesn't spend any more money. So that's why he's dropped his pistol. Someone's giving him a gun. They're sticking with the deags. They're not buying AKs. Oh, they got one.
Oh, there you go.
AK on Cajun. So yeah, let's see. Honestly, I wouldn't mind it on Nico at this point.
He's been playing so well.
Yeah. But hey, let's see what they can do.
So far on the T side, it hasn't been a whole lot.
Here we go. Smooth is up on catwalk. There's a lot of teas coming his way. Tessus has got that's all the utility on one player out, but they do grab an orb. So it's not all bad. MSL spots the head, but he can't quite take it off. Needs to be aware of that long wrap, and he is. Double scoped in on Tizian, but Tizian's too fast. Xantares coming up from the spawn, and Tizian gets a chance to double back, but Nico emerges through the smoke with a 1-deek. Xantares sees that orb pushed up on the catwalk, but it's still a 2-on-3, and OpTic have this bomb locked in Wizard. Xantares hears the cross, but he knows Nico's still on long with a gun now to play with. He needs to win this fight. The spray connects some shot. Config not hitting his with the AWP, and that could have been the kill that put OpTic in the advantage. Now it's anything but. Nico getting flanked from long as well. That's why Big are playing so slow in the CT spawn. And with this peak, the trade should come through, and it does. 14-14. Oh, dear.
It's happening.
Oh, dear.
It's actually happening. Oh, well, and so much for me being happy about
you know,
being proven correct about not picking Dusto as your map pick, right?
Do you remember? Yeah, right. Yeah, that went back quick.
didn't pan out.
You remember when during the Face It minor or like major or I think it was the minors or the minor qualifiers, we had like one of the Chinese teams like get accused of like unplugging Wi-Fi or cutting internet wires for one of like
it was the Vici, yes.
Yeah. Well, what if Big's managers just went and set fire to MSL's kitchen just for the ruse? Right?
It's not that far from Germany to Denmark. Can't call it out of question.
There's a chance.
There's a chance. At least OpTic are going to have a full buy in this one, but they need to get going. One of the few rounds they've picked up here on this side has been just a deco. Working out nicely for them. They're actually going to mess up the Molotov a little bit as well. Smooth it in an off angle, though. He's in a position to get one, but that's pretty much it.
Ooh. Oh, that's so
nifty.
sick. Smooth is gone. That's a huge opening kill. The AWP out of the hands of Big. There's one more on Tabson, but he's coming in through middle. Not the retake weapon, indeed. OpTic, short plant and 5 alive in the post plant. Look at the amount of smokes. They have 4 left, 2 Molotovs, an HE, and enough flashes to blind anyone here. So Big are going to have a very tough retake ahead of them.
Surely this is the time.
I want to see some utility go out here for OpTic. They're just taking fights right now. And this could get sloppy. Config getting one, but dropped on the site. The flank's in for Nico, and he's found Tabson. Tizian moving up. Tabson also dropped on top of the site. Legia's got to stick the bomb, and no one can watch it. That's a great Molotov, but Legia does have a smoke. He's trying to take a one-on-one, and Cajun will finish him off. If he just smoked that Molotov, he probably would have won the round.
He definitely had a strong chance in it. I guess Cajun could have gone for a jump shot, that kind of thing. It's planted pretty close to the ledge.
At that point, you're playing with RNG.
Yeah, it's not a safe situation to be in for OpTic, but you wanted to see some utility, and he did get to see some round-winning utility at the very end there from Cajun.
Wow, 15-14. OpTic looking to close out the game that they should have closed out many hours ago.
Yeah. For Big, what a heartbreaking way to potentially go out when you've made it all this way, and now you're looking at the final buy that's coming in from their side as well. It's an MP9 on Tizian.
Smooth, you're glassing it.
Surely. Because Tabson can't really afford to drop it over, can he? Legia with a P250.
Oh, you know he's considering it. I want to see this buy.
Why not? You've been finding early frags as well. Been doing a pretty good job for the better part of the CT side, so I don't see a reason why he would go against it. And there we have it. Double op. Go big or go home time.
Oh no, this is a risky suicide rush at 15-14. I wouldn't have made that
scoped up,
You know they're going to have some money. They've had a streak of rounds. You just don't know how much. Up catwalk, OpTic get. Being methodical. Look at the tunnels push. Moo's gone aggressively, though. Cajun is watching for it. He can't go any further. Tizian up on short this time, but MSL clips him through the wall and manages to take an advantage. Smooya, he might give up a further one. Cajun is so ready for it, but Smooya's too quick. That's a massive kill for Big. 4 on 4, he can leave that B site for now. OpTic still looking to commit towards A.
And they're going to be quick about it as well. They don't want Smooya to rotate in, but they do have a second opera here. Tabson finds one.
No, that's the bomb.
That is the bomb. Long is open though for business, but just not in time. Nico needs to deal with the 2v1. I does not expect Smooya to have the rotation in. 15 to 15. We got there in the end. I mean, you were a believer. I should have trusted you.
It's not over yet, okay? We still got plenty more CS.
I would still rate this as a comeback at this stage.
Without a doubt. Big are going to be very happy. And if you're OpTic, you are just wondering what if, you know. This is, yeah. I would not want to be in their heads right now.
It's been a messy one, and you mentioned it. We were talking about how Config didn't really have too much to do on the CT side, so him being 5-5 doesn't really matter. Nico's balling out, winning out pretty much the game for you by himself. He's at 7-18, or he was at 7-18, and
1 point, yeah.
It hasn't really gone that much better for him. I think he's at 8-19 now. So time to shape up pretty much for Config. He's had enough time to rest on his laurels, I suppose. But apparently they need him to actually be able to close this out. It was looking so promising on the first half, but it's all in the past.
And look at this. I mean, smoke shots for Tabs and the bomb dropping as well. That's a big choice, big questionable choice. And Big have done it. Pulled it to overtime, the game that keeps on giving, the game that keeps on pausing.
We are a little bit curious as to what these bosses are about right now. MSL hasn't dropped from the server, so
on the bright side.
This is not a tactical timeout at the very least.
That glass cannon AWP really paid off for Smooya.
100%.
Not only killing GG.B, really tucked himself in the corner, but also getting the final kill.
Yeah, Tabson as well following up with the secondary op, even though it wasn't quite glass cannon, but the investment definitely worth it. Obviously, now that you go into OT, it's MR310K. That means you're not necessarily going to be that comfortable with running into double ops setups on the CT side, unless you can win at the first round with without taking significant losses. That's really what the name of the game is for Big. Otherwise, they might be looking at a fair few rounds with not the ideal weaponry.
We're just waiting out whatever seems to be the delay while we get into 30 rounds deep of map 2 with a potential third on the cards if Big can manage to pick up their map pick here. It's been a strenuous test, a battle of endurance. A Mirage, well, that could just be on the horizon. Some buys are coming through, so there's that.
Means we're inching closer. Smooya, not surprisingly, opting in for the op, but apparently it's TeamSpeak that's acting up this time.
It's better than,
things setting ablaze. And well, it looks like it's been sorted out as freeze time has begun to count down. And, no real difference in the buys coming out from either side just yet. And OpTic right now, they need to figure out, I guess, a different avenue of approach. They haven't found much success, well, really anywhere. That's why we find ourselves in overtime, but not even attempting for that many mid-splits and that kind of thing, and not, at least not with smokes down. So maybe a B-split could be in for play eventually. Not going to have the corner smoke either here. They got a flash from MSL. Oh, nails him through. I'm curious if he actually spotted a gun barrel or anything to the extent of it, but
no idea.
Definitely had it nailed. That's Smooya gone.
Man up for OpTic to start. Pushing to B tunnels with Tabs, and he's cleared that out somewhat, so they should be aware that this is, at least at the moment, looking like an A play. Now, Nico has tunnels cut off, at least the aggressive rotation of it, but he didn't know that Tabson got this info, and as a result, Big have 3 players up on the A side of things. So still Leggy is watching middle in case things slow down and go back for OpTic. But Tizian has Catwalk. Right now, just needs Xantares to just hold back the oncoming tide of Danes.
Curious to see how long Nico's going to hang out in the outskirts of Upper Dark before he actually joins in with this team. We saw Cajun doing a pretty good job of being a late lurk in one of the previous rounds. Here we go.
Smokes are in. And the flash is up. Xantares is blind. That's a good entry. OpTic 5-on-3. And Tizian is the next line of defense. If he doesn't get a kill, this round is busted open. And that Molotov will at least delay the plant. This gives ample time for Big to get into position. Nico's walking into B now.
Yeah.
So he is going to be the safety insurance that this round is OpTic's.
Pretty much
assuming the bomb plant comes in, it still needs to. Tabson's been picked up. 12 seconds. There's the bomb going down. And now 2 players make that 0 players left. OpTic will find the first round of overtime with 5 alive.
Well, that's a pretty painful one.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Oh, yeah, you can see that.
Yeah.
That's pretty clear. Oh, Smooth was ducking, so if he ducks a second earlier, MSL, he doesn't know for sure.
Yep. But it's definitely a big swing for OpTic. They finally get around, and when they do, it's a flawless one at that. Makes it all the much terrible for Big, considering they wanted double ops. They're still going to have 1 op in play now, but as you can tell from their economy, if they lose this one, it should be a flawless half on the side of OpTic.
Nice to see like little setup changes for OpTic, such as Nico playing passive outside of the tunnels in the last round, considering in round 30 it was Cajun getting caught by Smooth's aggression in tunnels that actually put them in such an awful situation. Was not to blame Cajun, it's just a good play from Smooth, but this time we have Cajun back in position. He's holding it though.
And a little bit further back.
Yeah.
Tizian not far back at all. Not towards long this time. Ooh, he goes all in.
Blind.
Yeah. Tizian just fully committed when that second flash hit him.
Yeah, he could have bailed, maybe assuming that they wouldn't be blind, but they certainly were. And Tess is taking down Xantares.
It's a big, big kill.
4-on-3. OpTic are just committing to the A site. There's only Smooya here. He's up on the car, but he's got to deal with the long play. Nico making a lot of noise, and Smooya, he's going to take him down. Swiveling back towards the site. The flash will hold him off for a second, but he's got one of his own. Trying to get back up to the cross, and he might be able to save this day all along, but missed close shot. And they're right by him, trying to climb above. Tess, what a round from him. 3 kills on the entry, shutting down Smooya and locking in 17 for OpTic. He tried to save that AWP at the end. Too late, but it doesn't matter. It's last
They've
round.
got money.
They've got the money.
Yeah, they might even buy up auto snipers for now. And you don't really see a situation where Big fight back from this. Just fully blind everyone on Catwalk, and the follow-up on Xantares, that's a small margin of error. Nails it nonetheless. Young Gun coming up big here at the very tail end of it. 24 frags to his name right now. Looking to extend it. It's all SMGs and a scout, and the scout's actually gonna get to work early on. Legia finds MSL, but is immediately traded, and then that's actually just the entire B bomb site gone.
Oh. He does get one though. Trade still comes in from Tabson, who pushed lower. Xantares got a lot of damage off. I think he even dinked him. 3-on-3 in the post plant, and still more utility. We have 2 smokes to hold off this B site.
You don't fancy Big's chances here.
Yeah, it's looking like 18 unless Big perform a miracle. They're going to go for it this last round, may as well. So smoke towards the tunnels. That will cut off Cajun, but he just pushes through, plays Xbox instead. They have a molly for the close sight, but nothing found from it. Config needs to watch out. Even though there's smoke in the tunnels, there's a player coming from that position, but that will be the only player left up. Tabson makes it clear with the Molotov, and Config can just line him up and knock him down. 18-15 to OpTic, and 1 round separates them from the grand finals.
That's all there is. Well, as an admirable of a job Big did having that comeback on the CT side. It's not going to hold up in the first half of OT. Now the big question is if OpTic are going to lead a similar fate.
Well, now we have to remember the fact that it was OpTic stomping the CT side that even got them to such a dominant lead. So, yeah, pressure, not only just pressure, but I mean, you know, Big have to really turn things around. It was great to see their CT come back, but this is going to be a whole nother situation for them to deal with. On left and spawn, no immediate rush. AWP is posted, but Tabson gets molly back. It's not a deep molly, so he can just peek through the corner. Smoke landing in front, though, definitely can't peek through that. Where did Big go from here?
They might be asking that question themselves. That really is the issue, right? Like when you think about it, the fact that they didn't find any success on their T side pretty much with any attempt they had, whether it was catwalk, executes, long rushes. So they don't have too much data to work off of.
5-on-5 though. Floor is theirs. Smoke towards CT. There's a molly to combat that. That will dry out half the time, but Nico is going through it, or at least getting ready to do so. Oh, that's so unlucky. Scoped out as they cross. Tessus gets mollied in the pit, and they've isolated him well, but he still gets a kill. Any more of that is just a cherry on top, but tabseN tapes off his cherry. 4-on-4, 38 seconds.
MSL in a good spot to actually deal with the catwalk push coming in, though. They have rotations as well. Nico,
the boost.
This could be on borrowed time.
Didn't see him. Occasion's got to kill in the meantime. Nico's been sprayed down. He knows there's a second player, and he's dealt with him as well. 19-15. It's going to be OpTic going to the grand finals. It was a bit of an elongated matchup. It took its time, but we got there in the end. Either way, we are in darkness.
Yeah.
As the lights have broken. Ooh, they're back. Ooh.
They're back. Oh, that was very bright. I was
like,
looking straight into the sun.
It's like MSL's kitchen. What a series.
We got there in the end.
Yeah. As expected. I mean, we knew that. Why didn't we just
stick with the 2-0?
Yeah.
You were the ones who started. You were the one who started believing in the comeback.
I never actually fully believed. I said there was a chance. I didn't believe.
There's always a chance.
Okay.
No, I got to give credit for Big, not too big, for actually making it through all the way to an overtime. But I think in the end, the universe kind of corrects itself, because OpTic were in such a prime position. Again, we talked about the round where MSL actually disconnects. He's in a really solid spot to be able to at least pick up a frag or two, or at least delay, setting up OpTic for further victory. And that, again, disallows the three rounds that Big actually scraped together on their T side.
It would have been 13-1. It would have been Big broken coming into the last round of the half.
Yeah.
Likely 14-1 at that point.
What do you do?
It's hard to believe in a comeback in any realistic scenario. So yeah, you got to give credit to Big for actually making that one OT. And yeah, got to be heartbreaking to be on the receiving end of that loss.
Yeah, and for OpTic, it's cyber relief, I suppose. You do close out the match. It's not as convincing as you wanted it to be, but obviously there was a bit of a caveat around, surrounding the entire situation. But no, even though Big are out for now, I think they still had a positive figure showcasing their, I guess, first go of it with the new lineup, but not even the full new lineup, but what they're taking with them going into the future.
Exactly. And now fours, I bet they were looking at that game with glee at this point, right? Like, few OpTic.
Everyone's exhausted,
That's
mentally destroyed.
Yeah. And now they're going into the grand finals against OpTic. Winner of that best-of-3 series is going to be going to ESL One New York in September. So, yeah, a lot on the line, and we got one more best-of-3 to finally round that out. It's going to be Dinko and Halvor covering that last game. So I will say goodbye, and we will say goodbye. See you after the break.